Imagine a bright-eyed Jamaican child bopping rhythms on pots and pans. That boy grew up to become Jacob Killer Miller, one of reggae's most charismatic voices. Born Jacob Aloysius Miller on May 4th, 1952 in Mandeville, Jamaica, he was the only son of Joan Ashman, a choir singer and pianist. Raised in the Rastafari faith by his mother and great-aunt, young Jacob moved to Kingston at age 8. His mother recalls him as gregarious from the start, once throwing all his money into the air to share with friends. And he showed an early knack for music by tapping out drum rhythms on whatever he found around the house. Early life and background. Kingston in the 1960s was a crucible of budding reggae talent, and Jacob Miller was drawn into it. Even as a teenager, he spent hours hanging around Studio One, the legendary recording studio run by Clement Sir Coxsone Dodd. There, at just 13, Miller cut his first tracks, 3 songs for Dodd's roster, including Love Is a Message. Although these early tunes didn't make a splash, they did catch the ear of young Horace Swaby, the future Augustus Pablo. As Miller's story goes, the Swaby brothers ran the Rockers sound system and played Jacob's song frequently, sparking their friendship and Horace's interest in the promising youth. This period in Kingston was formative. Surrounded by music and mentored by studio legends, Jacob's playful love of rhythm began to coalesce into a professional pursuit. By his mid-teens, he had a foot in the door of Jamaica's music industry. His lively spirit and raw talent caught the attention of Augustus Pablo, who in 1972 invited Miller to record for his Rockers label. Together, they reworked Miller's Love Is a Message into Keep On Knocking, 1974, and produced several more classic singles like Baby I Love You So, False Rasta, and Who Say Jah No Dread. These tracks, backed by dub mixes from King Tubby, helped establish Miller's reputation as a powerful vocalist in the emerging Rockers reggae style. Career beginnings. Jacob's collaboration with Augustus Pablo was his first major break. With the album Who Say Jah No Dread, 1975, Miller's voice rode haunting keyboard rhythms and echoed King Tubby's revolutionary dubscapes. Jamaican music historians credit these recordings with helping launch the Rockers sound, a rootsy, dub-infused style that became hugely influential. Miller's singing on Pablo's tracks was intense, if generally undisciplined, as one critic notes, but it poured raw feeling into every note. In many ways, this era shaped Miller's identity, a fiery-voiced Rastaman with deep roots influences, ready to take center stage. By 1974, Miller's growing fame with Pablo led to another pivotal turn. Inner Circle, a Kingston reggae band known for their tight musicianship, asked Jacob to become their lead singer. With his new bandmates, including guitarist Roger Lewis and keyboardist Bernard Touter Harvey, he became Jacob Killer Miller, the frontman of Inner Circle. His infectious good humor and jokester persona, he always made jokes, bandleader Lewis remembered, endeared him to audiences. In the studio, Inner Circle signed with Capitol Records, US, in 1976 and released the albums Reggae Thing, 1976, and Ready for the World, 1977. These records blended Jacob's Rastafarian message with polished reggae grooves. Simultaneously, Miller nurtured a solo career alongside Inner Circle. In 1976 alone, he racked up hits like Forward Jar Jar Children, Girl Don't Come, and I Am a Natty, a reworking of Bob Marley's Soul Rebel. He even entered Jamaica's Festival Song Contest, taking second place with All Night Till Daylight. By 1976, he released his first solo album, Tenement Yard, giving a name to both the record and Inner Circle's hit single of the same name. That year cemented Miller's breakthrough. He was now leading Jamaica's hottest band, topping festival charts and preparing a major US record deal, breakthrough and fame. The late 1970s saw Miller's star shining brightest. Inner Circle's live shows became legendary. Miller danced across stages with a burning cigarette, spliff in his mouth and a policeman's hat on his head, a sight that thrilled audiences of ghetto youths and politicians alike. In fact, rock critic Lee Scratch Perry once noted that in the late 70s, Jacob Miller and Inner Circle were so popular they were sometimes billed above even Bob Marley. At the 1978 One Love Peace concert in Kingston, Miller did just that. He and his band opened for Marley, but also headlined daytime sets on a smaller stage. There, Miller performed Peace Treaty, a song Inner Circle wrote to quash political violence, and famously invited gang leaders on stage to shake hands in front of the crowd, arguably a bigger moment than Marley's own historic handshake. Witness accounts describe Miller at One Love Peace as mesmerizing and full of life, the quintessential Killer Miller who commanded the stage with roaring vocals and cheeky antics. On record, Miller churned out more reggae anthems. Inner Circle's hits during his tenure included Tenement Yard, Forward Ever, Backward Never, Standing Firm, and Tired Fee Lickweed. He also released beloved solo gems like Killer Miller and Natty Christmas. His work with Inner Circle culminated in an Island Records album, Everything Is Great, 1979, aimed partly at the international market. Although some purists saw this set as a slight turn toward disco and soul, even that record helped spread his sound. Notably, decades later, one of his tracks, the dub King Tubby Meets the Rockers Uptown, 1994, even made a new generation take notice by appearing on the soundtrack of Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas' musical style and influence. Jacob Miller's voice was instantly recognizable. Reggae aficionados point out that he had a unique staccato vocal style that played off the rhythm section like call and response. His tone could be playful one moment, soulful the next. Songs like Tired Fee Lickweed exemplified his penchant for punchy phrasing. Critics describe his singing on Rockers-era tracks as intense, undisciplined, and unsophisticated, yet packed with boundless energy. In live performance, he was electric. Bounding around in oversized clothes, grinning ear to ear, he brought jokes and showmanship to reggae concerts. One fan noted Miller's stage presence was so magnetic that Jamaica's political peace committee happily joined him for a song at One Love Peace. This high-octane style helped define a period of reggae history. In the mid-1970s, Jacob Miller and Inner Circle became one of the hottest and most important artists of the 1970s in Jamaica, with dozens of local hit singles. His collaborations with Augustus Pablo and King Tubby on tracks like False Rasta and Who Say Jah No Dread helped pioneer the rockers' sound that influenced generations of reggae musicians. Lee O'Neill of Jammin' Reggae argues that for several years in the 1970s, Jacob Miller defined Jamaican music, a testament to how deeply his music connected with listeners. Even Bob Marley reportedly called Miller his favorite singer. By blending traditional Rastafari messages with insatiable rhythm and humor, Miller's style left a lasting imprint on reggae culture family life. Despite his fame, Jacob Miller kept his personal life relatively private. We know he grew up without knowing his father, and that his closest family included his mother Joan Ashman, and the great aunt who helped raise him. He later became a father himself. On the night of the car accident that killed Jacob, one of his sons also perished. Beyond this tragedy, few public details of any spouse or other children have surfaced, suggesting Miller protected his family's privacy. One notable family connection is his cousin, British reggae singer Maxi Priest. Miller's sister or brother was the parent of Maxi Priest, making Jacob and Maxi first cousins. Miller's warm, playful spirit apparently ran in the family. Maxi Priest would later find success blending reggae with pop in the 1990s. Philanthropy and social impact. Jacob Miller may not have been known for formal charity drives, but in his own way, he used music to promote unity and upliftment. His very presence at the 1978 peace concert was a political statement. By performing the song Peace Treaty and literally bringing rival gang leaders on stage, he helped soothe tensions in Jamaica. Miller's lyrics often carried Rasta messages of empowerment. Albums like Natty Christmas and songs like Natty Dread championed hope for the downtrodden. After his death, even a religious leader took note of Miller's community spirit. Archbishop Yeshak of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, who presided at Miller's funeral, told mourners that Jacob had a desire to help those in the ghetto and urged Jamaicans to love their neighbors. This tribute suggests Miller's life embodied a Rastafarian care for the poor and a plea for peace. In interviews and performances, Miller never shied away from showing solidarity with the ghetto youth or advocating for unity, making him a positive force in Jamaica's social fabric. Death and aftermath. Tragedy struck on March 23, 1980, at the height of Miller's career. Jacob Miller had just returned from a trip to Brazil with Bob Marley and Island Records' Chris Blackwell when his red minicar veered into oncoming traffic on Hope Road in Kingston. Miller was only 27 years old, and fatefully, the crash also claimed the life of his young son. News of his death sent shockwaves through Jamaica. Newspapers summed up the loss poignantly. He took the world by storm and would be missed for his playfulness, gaiety, and laughter. For reggae fans everywhere, it was a bitter end to a promising journey. Miller's band, Inner Circle, had just finished a new album, Mixed Up Moods, and was planning a tour with Bob Marley, scheduled for later that year. Island Records executives had viewed Jacob as the next big reggae star on the world stage. In one posthumous reflection, a writer observed, "Miller died very young in a car accident, cutting abruptly short a promising career that had already taken young Jacob from Yard, Jamaica, to an international record deal." Those hopes vanished on Hope Road. Across Jamaica and beyond, tributes poured in. Fellow musicians and fans remembered Miller's boundless energy and humor. His impact was so great that an entire generation had grown up on his music. As one contemporaneous report noted, he had taken the world by storm. Though Jacob was gone, his recordings and memories kept the spirit of the Killer Miller alive. Legacy and continued influence. Decades later, Jacob Miller's influence still echoes through reggae. In Jamaica, every Christmas season, his festive album Natty Christmas still gets heavy play on the radio. Reissue labels have kept his music in circulation. For example, VP Records released compilation tributes like Jacob Miller, Natty Christmas, 2007, and Jacob Miller and Friends, Jacob Miller Lives On, 2008. These albums feature new artists covering Miller's classics alongside remastered original tracks, ensuring younger fans can discover his voice. Critics continue to hail Miller's contributions. Reggae historians credit him with helping define the rockers era of the 1970s. One reggae blog writer even asserts that for a time, Miller defined Jamaican music and rivaled Bob Marley's popularity at home. His songs remain reggae standards: Tenement Yard, Standing Firm, Forward Ever, Backward Never, and others are staples on classic reggae playlists today. In 2024, his legacy received formal recognition. On the 44th anniversary of his death, Jamaica's International Reggae and World Music Awards, IROMA, posthumously honored Jacob Miller with a Lifetime Achievement Award. Speaking at the ceremony, the award's founder recounted how he had nearly interviewed Miller on the day of the crash. IROMA cited Miller's role as lead singer on inner circle hits like Tenement Yard and Keep On Knocking as part of the award's tribute. This honor underlines how Miller is remembered not just as a great entertainer, but as a reggae pioneer whose work still resonates. Other artists also keep his memory alive. His nephew Maxi Priest often speaks with pride of his late cousin, and Jamaican artists frequently cover Miller's songs on tribute nights. Even international media recall him. In February 2024, Rolling Stone magazine included the Augustus Pablo dub King Tubby Meets the Rockers Uptown, based on Miller's vocals, on its list of the 500 greatest songs of all time, highlighting the enduring power of his collaborations. Clearly, Jacob Miller's star still shines in the reggae firmament, net worth, and recognition. Because Jacob Miller's life and career were cut short in 1980, there are no records of his financial net worth or estate value. He did not live to build a long-term portfolio of royalties or to reap big commercial rewards. What is documented are the honors and recognitions he's received posthumously. Besides the recent IROMA Lifetime Achievement Award, Miller has been inducted into various reggae halls of fame and subject of documentaries. Fans-produced films like Jacob Miller, the reggae rebel who died too young. Reggae music scholarship consistently cites him as a key figure of the Roots era. His body of work continues to earn royalties for his estate from radio play and album sales. But more importantly, his name endures in reggae lore. To this day, die-hard reggae fans and collectors regard any Jacob Miller recording as invaluable. Compilations of Inner Circle plus Miller albums frequently appear on essential reggae lists. As one review put it, Miller's intensely energetic voice and powerful records make all reissues and tributes absolutely essential for understanding 1970s Jamaican music. In that sense, his posthumous value lies in cultural influence rather than dollars. Jacob Miller's journey was astonishingly brief, but blazing with impact. From a generous Kingston child to the frontman of Jamaica's top band, he brought fun, passion, and unwavering Rastafari spirit to reggae music. His hits and performances brought joy and unity to a turbulent era in Jamaica. Though he died young, Jacob "Killer" Miller earned a place among reggae's immortals. Today, whenever Jamaican children unwrap a Christmas record or a reggae concert announces Tenement Yard, Jacob's legacy endures. As one fan reflected, Jacob Miller took the world by storm, and even now, over 4 decades later, his warm laughter and energetic voice continue to uplift listeners around the globe.